Hands off, or I will gut you like the rest. What? Never seen an assassin get put out of work before? You're not one of these third-rate assassins, I can tell. But if you or anyone else puts a hand on me, I'm answering with my axes. I've been cutting down these mercenaries for the better part of the day. I'm guessing my target knows I'm on to her and has started sending them my way. My associate, Harn Orenvi, might know something about it, but I can't bring this heat to him. More like gather information. And if you're offering, I can pay you. Harn usually holds court in the Outlaw's Refuge. He'll be the only one there with bodyguards. Ask him if Raynilla Treveri's been through recently. Got it? Fair warning. Harn might ask you for a favor in return for information. I can pay you back, but you don't get paid until I get paid, and I don't get paid until I find Raynilla. Make sure you get something good. I'll find you after you're done. Well, make it quick, before more of those mercenaries decide to show up. I just can't figure out where I slipped up. Raynilla shouldn't know I was after her. My catches never do. Targets. Bounties. Got fishing on the mind, I suppose. I was planning a trip when I got put on this job. High priority, and the pay was nothing I could pass up. Lucky for the fish. I'm a mercenary, bounty hunter, assassin, whatever gets me paid. Raynilla stole something. Was told I'd know it when I saw it. Research notes to try and gain favor with some rival Telvanni magister, maybe. Tale as old as time in these parts. I think so. I don't know. I was handed the job by my job broker. He let slip that Raynilla used to work for the client, but I didn't stick around to hear much else. It is a time-sensitive job, and I was told to stop Raynilla at any cost. Thought it'd be better to get on her trail sooner rather than later. I don't need to know all the fancy details and motivations. I just need to know enough to get paid. He's one of Necrom's only crime lords, big fish in a small pond, and he knows everybody, so I am certain he knows Raynilla. I've worked for him before. We're not on bad terms, but I wouldn't go to him if I had any other choice. He's chatty. Too friendly for my taste. Lures people in just so he can get them under his thumb and in his debt. Last time we did business, we didn't see eye to eye on something. Let's leave it at that. What? My story? I tell you to make it quick, and that's what you decide to ask me. Try again, or get moving. And listen, don't mention me to Harn. It probably won't do you any favors.
Please, Han. They're not just flowers, they're...
Surely a man of your talents can grow more. Now, move. Others wait in need of my counsel. Your face isn't familiar to me, but I'd know that look anywhere. You want something from me. Information, probably. Well, what is it you're looking for? Raynilla Treveri. Really? I may know something about her. Perhaps you can enlighten me on why it is you're seeking her. All right, don't get so touchy, Fla. Raynilla was through recently. I can tell you what I know, but not without a favor in return. Why don't you deliver these red flowers I just gathered to some dear friends of mine? Are they really? Well, aren't you a clever one? Since you've made yourself useful, I'll tell you that Raynilla came through recently, seeking Deredrian, a fence who specializes in moving specialty items. She keeps a room in town. I'll mark it on your map. Careful, though. Deredrian and Raynilla were old friends, but they fell out some time ago. Asking after one might cause the other to be very sharp with her answers. If you have further business with me, get right to it. If you don't, you're blocking my view. Oh, this. I got too chummy with a certain Argonian associate of mine. All I did was put a hand on his shoulder to get his attention. Apparently, it was the wrong move. He let me know with a nasty swipe of his claws. Can't say I blame him. I've attacked people for far less. I haven't seen this associate of mine for quite some time. Pity. I'd like to thank him properly for what he did. No, just thank him. This scar gives me a subtle air of menace that has done wonders for my business. I don't hold it against him. But the same can't be said for my bodyguards. So I suppose it's for the best that he keeps his distance.
Hey, told you I'd find you. Raynilla was here, hmm? Let's have a look around. What? I said I'd find you after you were done with Harn. Your trail led here. Would have caught up sooner, but I had to shake off another mercenary after you left. Looks like debt collection notices. Not helpful to us. Blah, rot meth. Makes me wish I was born without nostrils. Can't understand how anyone drinks this stuff. Is this Deredrian's place? Seems like a wanted woman, whoever she is. Let me see that letter. So, Raynilla came by, pestering this Deredrian for help. Why? Great. Well, maybe they patched things up and Deredrian went to go help her, though that doesn't explain why she'd leave behind a note that says exactly where she's gone, especially if she's trying to hide from this reformer that Raynilla mentioned. Maybe. My job broker told me to track down Raynilla and take back what she stole for an important client. He didn't give other details, and that's usually fine with me. No memory of my past makes no answers an easy pill for me to swallow. I woke up a few years back in the middle of Valenwood with a nasty headache and no memory except my name. But that doesn't have anything to do with the job. Let's get to that campsite. I'll scout ahead and see if we can take Raynilla by surprise. Great. If all goes well, then we can both get paid and go our separate ways, I guess. I already told you most everything I know. I came to in Valenwood, middle of nowhere, blood on my claws. Someone was screaming. Didn't see who. My head felt like it was split in half, so they got away. Well, I was in the middle of the forest. Had to hunt and track so I didn't starve to death. At one point, I started heading towards this huge tree in the distance. Eldenroot. Civilization. Sometimes I wonder if I should have just stayed in the woods. Sure, a bit. Look, I didn't know if I'd killed someone or someone had tried to kill me. I kept my head down, took any job to get by, and now I guess I'm here. If someone somewhere cares I'm gone, they're keeping awfully quiet about it. Either nobody misses me enough to go looking for me, or I was a loner before, just like I'm a loner now. I'm not trying to find answers on my past. You shouldn't either. Meet you there, and don't go blundering in without me. I scouted ahead. That campsite is crawling with the mercenaries that attacked me. Seems like they're searching or waiting for something. But that got me thinking. Why would those mercenaries be after both me and Raynilla? I thought about that on the way over, too. If Raynilla could afford to hire mercenaries, she wouldn't be desperate for Deredrian's help like she was in that note we found, right? Something else is going on here. That campsite is the only lead we have on finding Raynilla. If we can get there, maybe we can find something to keep us on her trail. I'm not used to looking out for others. Can you handle yourself if we run into trouble? Wait. Those lanterns. This is Raynilla's signal? I think I've seen it before. Look, someone left a trail. Crouch down and you'll see it. Well, if Deredrian came here to help Raynilla, it doesn't seem like she did a very good job, and no other sign of Raynilla or the one she was traveling with. What are those notes? What did you find out? Right. She threw in with the Reformer, who told her to prioritize my capture over Raynilla's? What? And he's the one who hired me, without knowing it? This is the last time I ever find work through a job broker. No, but we can piece it together. The fence moving specialty items, the two lantern signal, the list of operatives, this person called Dim who the Reformer wants back alive. Raynilla isn't traveling alone with some trinket. She's freeing a slave. I don't want to think about that right now. This can't be all there is. There has to be someone who can give us answers. There was another name I saw, Mevi, in Ald Isra, right? That's not far. If we can find her, maybe she could tell us more. I'll meet you there. I just need a minute. See that? 2 lanterns. That's got to be Mevi.
Sharp-as-Night? By Azura, after all these years, is it really you?
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
I don't know you, and I've never met Sharp. But the way my Raynilla spoke of him, I'd recognize him anywhere. Are you one of her connections? Have you been watching over him all this time? Did he finally remember Raynilla? The Reformer uses experimental magic on his slaves. Raynilla didn't understand the process, and when she excised it from Sharp to free him, it tore something from him. His memories, she thought. Raynilla never forgave herself for what happened. She put herself on assignment. She's freeing another from the Reformer. I haven't heard from her, but that's how these things often go. Forgive me, it's only just occurred to me, but if Sharp has no memories of Raynilla, how did you find me? What? Directrian? No, Raynilla needed her help to find the smugglers' tunnels in Gorn. She'd arranged for a boat to take them to safety. If it's just the 2 of them in those tunnels, I need to get to her. Please, can you help? You 2 go on ahead. I need to gather Raynilla's research and prepare to travel light for a while. We always knew this day might come. Thankfully, we always tried to remain ready for just such an occasion. I can spare a moment to tell you what I know, but after, we really should get moving to Gorn. She is my wife. Sharp is the reason we met, actually. She needed forged documents for his new identity. I'd never done anything like that before, but she convinced me. Pity he didn't get to use the forgeries. But some good came of it, at least. It is. She told me he had ambitious ideals that challenged the traditions of House Telvanni. But when she witnessed the cost of those ideals firsthand, she had a change of heart. Breaking ties wasn't enough. She started freeing his slaves. When she lets me, I'm skilled in forgeries and logistics, but I've never done field work, not like her. It's dangerous work and, well, she's always been very protective of me. She has an informal web of operatives across Tamriel focused on freeing slaves. She relies heavily on favors and appealing to people's better nature. It's a struggle, to be sure. I think Raynilla takes on a lot more than she can bear. He's a rich and powerful Telvanni magister who hides behind his moniker and keeps the particulars of his research close to his chest. He practices horrible experiments on his slaves. Somehow, he thinks his work is going to end slavery in Tamriel. Raynilla says he uses some experimental metal to create a sort of link between him and his subjects. I've blocked out most of the details, but I do know that Sharp was the Reformer's favorite. Sharp's resistance always captivated the Reformer. It was as if perfecting that link and conquering Sharp's will was his greatest trial. Precisely. After that happened to Sharp, Raynilla studied the vile process and learned how to safely deattune those freed after him. She'll be thrilled to see him again. I just know it. She might even know how to restore his memories. Raynilla can tell you more when we find her. The way she speaks of him, it's like she's worrying after an old friend. She liked to imagine that he ended up living a peaceful life as a fisherman somewhere. He was feral when she excised him from the Reformer's control. She had no choice but to subdue him. She delivered him to Deredrian at an old safe site in Valenwood. He was supposed to go to Blackmarsh from there, but things didn't go as planned. Deredrian put a hand on Sharp to shake him awake, and he nearly clawed her face off. She said she barely escaped with her life. I can't blame Sharp, and Raynilla felt the same. He must have reacted in fear, that's all. No, Deredrian was furious. Raynilla didn't know such a thing would happen, but that didn't seem to matter to Deredrian. She had complained that Raynilla wasn't paying her enough anyway. I'm just sad it ended this way for her. Sharp, Raynilla would say that you're under no obligation to help, but please.
I'm on my way. Where are the smugglers' tunnels you mentioned?
I think there's a secret entrance in the southwest tunnels. I'll follow shortly. Please, hurry.
I don't want to talk about what we just heard from Mevi. After so long knowing nothing about who I used to be, it's a lot to take in. Stopping those mercenaries is more important anyway. I'm heading to Gorn.
Fair. I could seek help in Necrom, or... you there!
You're here after all. I was about to reel in this piece of my past without you. I thought maybe you decided to move on. This is far beyond what I hired you for, isn't it? Maybe you're like me and you never pass up a payday, but I probably wouldn't even have stopped to help someone like me in the first place. Gorn is packed to the brim with mad wizards. Doesn't make it too different from the rest of the peninsula, but I've heard worse things have moved in recently. I guess what I'm saying is I'll watch your back in there so long as you're watching mine. Maybe Raynilla and the one she's with sneaked through instead of fighting. Can't imagine a fight going well for them.
won't let you take her back.
Hey, fetchers! Looking for me?
Help her, please.
Renilla went through that door. She looked hurt. Bad.
Sharp, please. Help her.
Kujay? What are you doing here?
What did you just call me?
Renilla, I'm here. Just stay still.
That thing she called me, Kaj. I'm her brother. Why do I know what that means? See if you can help Renilla. I need to think.
Please, see if you can help Renilla.
I came as quickly as I could, but I fear we're too late.
You're Sharp's friend? I had feared he spent all those years alone. But he found someone. He found you. His sister, Dimike. So close to freedom. Promise you'll help her. Take her the rest of the way, please. Help her. Too late for me. Deredrian and those mercenaries made sure of that. I never wanted my Mevi to get caught up in all this. To have to run forever from the Reformer. And the others. He'll never stop until Sharp is his again. I didn't have time. There's so much I could have done. I just couldn't do it on my own. Sharp looks strong. Healthy. I'm sorry. So sorry. But glad to see him one last time.
Renilla, stay with me now. Please. Renilla.
Renilla knew me. I don't remember her at all. Just give me a moment. This is a lot to happen so suddenly.
Please, just give me a moment to grieve.
Renilla, she can't be gone. She fought so hard to protect me. What am I going to do? We were supposed to have help. I thought maybe you and Sharp, but I can see it in his eyes. He doesn't remember me, does he? He doesn't remember anything. Kaj, elder brother. It's what I always called him. Renilla didn't know how to properly excise him from the Reformer's attunement back then. Like the others. Like me. Deeknuj, his little sister. I don't think we had the same parents, but that was what he called me. He was there from the day I hatched. He always said he would come back for me, help me escape. I'd given up all hope. I don't know. She said something about a safe house in Silent Mire, but our final destination was somewhere deep in Black Marsh. We barely escaped Deredrian. And now Raynilla's gone. I don't know what I'm going to do.
We were too late. I thought something might come back to me seeing Raynilla. She knew me, and now she's just gone. I don't feel any memories stirring when I look at her either. Just nothing. I gave up on finding answers about my past a long time ago. I don't understand why this had to happen now. Help her. I'm a mercenary. I don't know how to look out for someone like her. And if this reformer is as powerful and dangerous as everyone said, there's not a place in Tamriel that is going to be safe for her anyway. He's more than after me. He's obsessed with me. But that I can do something about. If I could just track him down. That's what I have to do. Find the reformer and be his end. But you heard Raynilla. If I try to do it alone, I'll end up like her. Going after the reformer is a different job for a different day. Hunting my hunter is going to take time and patience. For now, take your payment, and if you'd like me watching your back wherever you're headed next, send for me. I'll be there.
You okay? Raynilla got you this far. I'll take you the rest of the way. And then I'm never coming back to Morrowind.
Where are you taking her?
You've made your path clear, Sharp. If you fail at taking out the Reformer and fall under his control again, it's better if you don't know.
Sharp, please come with us. You don't have to be alone.
I am not going to be alone, and I'm not going to fail.
My heart may never recover from losing Raynilla. I should have been with her. I'll finish this final mission of hers, and then I'll be gone. I won't look back.
Freedom at last. If only my mind would accept it as true.
I need to tell you something. You're the only one I know who's nosy enough to care. It's about my former job broker, Federo. I have been wanting to have a word with him ever since everything went tail up on my last job. You know, the one where we met. He hired me and paid me on time, that's all you need to know. But I haven't heard from him since the Raynilla job. I figured he had some connection to the Reformer and my forgotten past. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit. He has this little place in Sadrith Mora. If he's there, we can shake him down for information, then get lost before the Reformer's mercenaries show up. Whatever happens, I know I'll fare better with you there. Any chance you'd like to tag along? Probably better that I don't go to the seat of House Telvanni in Vardenfell alone when there is someone in the higher ranks obsessed with my capture. I know I don't say it a lot, but I appreciate you sticking with me. I figured you would. I hate Sadrith Mora, so I'm not in any hurry to get there. Ask away. I used to have to go to Federo's place to get paid before I convinced him to start utilizing dead drops. Tried to teach him how to fish once or twice. It didn't take. He always tried to get me to go drinking with him instead. Can't imagine why. How should I know? We weren't close. He was just someone I worked for. So, there's no reason to hold back if we need to shake him down for information when we find him, especially if it's clear he's decided to keep working for the Reformer. He'd be stupid not to. You remember the Reformer was offering 3 times the promised rate to his mercenaries for my capture, right? All Federo ever wanted was to get rich and climb ranks within House Telvanni. Turning me over would get him both. Well, I'm not working for him anymore, am I? I keep it low profile when I'm not spending time with you. Maybe he set up a trap for me at his place, or maybe the reformer made him disappear. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I'd be more concerned if Federo had written acting like nothing was wrong, asking to put me on another job or something. It's not like him to not write. It's the other stuff that worries me more. It's not the threat of danger so much. I know we can handle whatever comes our way. It's the reformer, I suppose. The note we found where he mentioned me by name. I try not to think about the way he talked about me, how unsettling it was. Me, of all people. Guess that's how we know he's crazy. I guess that's what has me so unnerved. I mean, I've done awful things for money, but what's he doing them for? And what do I have to do with any of it? Some part of me wonders if I'd be better off not knowing the answers, but I guess we'll have to see. Mevi, the one who made it clear I was a dangerous liability because I was choosing to go after the reformer? The one who likely blames me for the death of her wife. That Mevi? No, I haven't. I don't know how to find her, and she couldn't find me if she tried. Probably for the best that it stays that way. You saw how disappointed she was when she realized I wasn't her Kaj Kujay, the brother she knew from before. Why not? It's probably how I'd feel if it were me. I can't replace Raynilla, but I can try and fix things my way, our way, if you're still with me. Nice little place right on the water. And get this, Federo doesn't even like to fish. What a waste. Door unlocked. Place looks abandoned. We're off to a great start. Federo only drinks sugary Sujama cocktails. The wine bottles can't be his. Those are rags by Federo standards. Not his style at all. I hate that I know that.
Hey, who are you?
Here's our wine drinker. I can smell it on her. Where's Federo? Who are you?
I'm Federo's betrothed. Leave now, before I call the guards.
Right, and I'm Lady Mara, here to bless your union. Who are you really?
Look, I don't want any trouble. Federo is a good enough sort. He wouldn't mind that I holed up here for so long, honest. Because, we were engaged to be married. As you can see, losing him has made me take to drinking. Oh, how I miss him. Oh, he's dead, I'm afraid. Killed by some mercenary called Sharp-as-Night. Just brutal. Nasty business. Tragic, really. I'm heartbroken. We were gonna get married, you know. But he told me that since he's dead, I can keep the house. Good question. Look, Federo just told me to say that to anyone who came asking after him. He's a good guy, really. Said he was meeting someone who was gonna keep him safe. You're not trying to hurt him, are you? Oh, information. Well, this seems harmless enough to me. He had me seek passage to Eastmarch for him. He paid me in wine to do it. Let slip he was headed to Twinkler, Tinkerer Tobin's workshop, I think. Does that help? You two are a lot more friendly than the mercenaries that came round looking for Federo a while back. Of course, when they wrote me and dragged me out of bed, I was nearly sober, I think. Anyway, they haven't been back since. Hired by a client of his, I think. Didn't sound too happy with him. And they weren't too happy with me after I hurled all over the one holding me. Lot easier to lie when you're sober, but where's the fun in that? Oh, we're just friends. Drinking buddies, really. I think he always had a thing for one of his mercenaries. Told me about him once, but I forget. I'll set you up with him if you like. He's a great guy, really. Gave me his house. Toby's... No, that's not right. Tinkerer Tobin's Workshop. Eastmarch. Oh, bundle up if that's where you're headed. I hear it's cold there this time of year. Or every time of year, I suppose.
So, Federo's not just a coward, but a liar too. As if I cared about him enough to track him down and kill him. He should be so lucky. The elf is too drunk for me to understand most of her story. What did you get out of her? Right. But whom? And why? Eastmarch, of all places. Federo wasn't stupid. He'd know I'd see through a cover story as fake as this wine drinker being his betrothed, and he knows how good a tracker I am. Why leave such an obvious loose end? I suppose he'd be in trouble if he didn't make every effort to hand me over to the Reformer. I just can't imagine why he'd do that for me. The place the elf mentioned is west of Cragwallow, right on the hot springs. Ugh. Eastmarch, of all places. The armpit of Skyrim. Federo must be really desperate to hole up at this Tinkerer Tobin's place. I'm sure he's just miserable. I don't mind the endless tracks of ice and snow, but Eastmarch has that rotten egg smell from all the hot springs. Makes me want to gag. Besides that, the Nords of Windhelm are a bit chipper for my taste. Otherwise, no strong opinions. I'd be surprised if he were. Like you said, he was meeting someone. If we have to do more tracking, that's fine by me. I'm good at that. I can't picture him staying in the wilds of Skyrim for long, though. He's what I'd call an indoor elf. When I say he asked me to drink with him once or twice, I might have agreed once or twice. Easier to think of him not as a friend if he happened to sell me out to the Reformer. I did, but I'm beginning to rethink that theory. I'm not going to say I was wrong until I actually am, and probably not even then. Are you done with the questions? We have an armpit to get to.
Hello? Who's there? Please don't be another bear.
Well, look who it is. Federo. I thought one of your mercs took you out.
Sharp? Sharp? What are you doing here? Please, I didn't reveal anything to the Reformer about Sharp. I just ran. Sharp never mentioned being a former Telvanni slave. On the souls of my ancestors, I didn't know. I'd never have put him on the job if I had, I swear! Track him down? What, to kill him? Oh, I suppose someone has to. You really think you can? Listen, I had plans to blackmail the Reformer before I realized how stupid that would be. The cache of information can be yours and Sharp's, for a price. Not what I want, but what I need. A new life. New name, new identity, new clothes. I heard there's a document forger in the Adept's Retreat in Windhelm. Work out a deal, then meet me in the Outlaw's Refuge. I'll tell you where I buried the cash. Please hurry, I'm really not built for this climate. I just need passable documents and some clothing that doesn't make me look quite so Telvanni. Then I could be on my way. Remember, I'll meet you in the Windhelm Outlaw's Refuge after, all right? Oh, that. I thought it'd make Sharp seem dangerous and unpredictable. I thought it'd throw the Reformer off his scent, and mine. And I thought maybe the Reformer would be afraid that Sharp was coming for him next. And look, now he is. Of course he did. Gold, power, prestige. He practically sounded like a game of tribute. It'd have been so easy, and I'd be living like a king right now if I had. Turn over my best mercenary? I couldn't live with myself if I did that. Only got as far as I did on the peninsula because of Sharp. I might have called him my friend if he were the type to make friends. Speaking of, who are you exactly? Huh. Well, good you came along, or we'd both probably be a lot worse off. You know the Reformer is obsessed with Sharp, right? He won't kill Sharp, but I'm sure he'll cut down anyone else who stands in his way. Just be careful.
New clothes? You're shameless.
Come on, Sharp. I've been good to you, haven't I? If you can't find something nice, at least make sure it's warm.
Fedora ran instead of trying to turn me over to the Reformer. I didn't expect that from anyone, let alone someone like him. We'll see how reliable this forger is in Adept's Retreat. As for clothing, I have no idea what we're going to do. It's probably not going to be much. He gave up on using it as blackmail, after all. He's clearly scared for his life. Maybe helping him isn't the worst thing, but I say we don't go out of our way to set him up for a life of luxury. It wouldn't have been my first place to look either, but I guess a truly skilled forger could hide in plain sight. If that's what Federo heard, let's follow his lead. He's been here longer than we have, I suppose. It's the clothes I'm worried about. Please, like I care. But I owe him for not giving me up when he could have. I'll leave the selecting to you, since you clearly have more particular taste than I do. Federo will probably appreciate your judgment better than mine.
Let's move!
Do my eyes look red to you?
Sharp? Stranger, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same... Oh, no. You're the forgery expert, aren't you?
Keep your voice down. After I saw Dimike to safety, I was lost. I remembered that Raynilla and I came to Windhelm on a holiday once. I just sort of drifted here. But I tried to keep my head down. I must not have hidden well enough. How did you manage to find me? Raynilla worked hard to bring light to all corners of the world. Now that she's gone, everything feels cast in shadow. Like I've lost my purpose. But forgery is something I know. Something I did for her. This new identity, is it for Sharp? I know that name. Raynilla used to keep tabs on him. She wrote him, pleading for him to defect as an abolitionist. I was convinced he was a lost cause, but Raynilla didn't believe in lost causes. He's really had a change of heart, has he? Raynilla's work, then. It wasn't for nothing. A spark still remains. Her mission didn't have to die with her. I'll draft up a plausible identity. Something that will allow Federo unrestricted travel, wherever he might wish to go.
Our contact wanted new clothing, too. Any idea where we might find something easy on the coin purse?
There's a tailor in the armorer's place across town. Standard prices, though. Might help if I had coin to spare.
You know, never mind.
Almost joined the Moorborn myself. They seem like good people doing good work.
Clothing here! Free to anyone who can take it off my hands!
Doesn't get cheaper than free. Let's take a look.
I met this Imperial at the Sober Nord. He'd come all the way from the Telvanni Peninsula to sell some tonic of his. I really shouldn't have let him drag me outside the city to show me the power of his miracle elixir, but we've been drinking, you see.
Ugh. You carry that. I'll try to keep upwind of you.
Did you drink my drink?
Windhelm Outlaws Refuge. Do I have anyone here who wants to kill me? I don't think so.
Dear dear ran right through the camp after you left. I made all haste to get here after that.
Too dear. I'm surprised you survived.
I'm sure you and Sharp both find it very funny that I stayed out in the wilds, jumping at every noise, thinking it might be the last thing I hear. My poor nerves. But I'm ready to put all this behind me. Did you get what I asked for? This is really the best you could do? I'm a courier for the Antiquarian Circle? This document makes it sound awfully dangerous. What's that smell? Don't tell me that's coming from the clothes. You did remember to bring me clothes, didn't you? No, I'll take it. Sharp was always my best man for the job. If he says this was the most you could do, I believe it. I guess being a courier isn't so bad, but the smell on these clothes... never mind. It's nothing a good wash can't fix. I'll mark the location on your map. It's not far from here. You're really going after the Reformer, aren't you? I'd wish you luck, but I think Sharp's used up all that in finding you. I'm going to need luck more than you two. Courier? So, after you fished these clothes out of the latrine that you found them in, what'd you do? Dry them over a bonfire of mammoth fur? The style I'll just have to work with, but the smell! Maybe I could answer them over drinks? I've grown quite partial to the sweet mead they drink here. Oh, never mind. Sharp's giving me a look. Ask and be on your way then. The Nords and others who frequent the Tinkerer's camp seemed affable enough, but I got rid of any identifying information just in case they started to doubt my story. That I decided to leave a cult and was laying low until its members forgot about me? Common enough and doesn't prompt a lot of questions. Most of the Nords who asked just nodded knowingly and offered me a drink. Maybe I'll keep the story. I don't know. He seemed nice. He had these grand new ideas, powerful connections, things that mattered to me. Just goes to show, first impressions aren't everything. But you know that. You're friends with Sharp. He had it in his head that he could eliminate the need for slavery in all of Morrowind, if you could believe it. He was very protective of his methods, of course. Typical Telvanni. But he said the slaves he had were a necessity to perfect the process. I haven't the faintest idea. And hopefully I'll never have to think about such things again. I'm glad to get away from all this. The Reformer really is unhinged. You'll see what I mean when you find that cache. It wasn't my choice. I've been getting these letters for some time, pleading with me to defect, stop working for House Telvanni, telling me how I was complicit. When I finally did leave, of course, it was too late. Whoever wrote me said I could go to Tobin's as a sort of safe house. They would know somehow that I'd made it there, and they'd be along to set me up right with a new life, new identity. But nobody showed up. Until you and Sharp did, anyway. Raynilla? Not the one the Reformer was after. I didn't know she was freeing his slaves until it was too late. No wonder she didn't come for me. She's dead, isn't she? Who is Mevi? Someone dear to Raynilla, I imagine? The one in Adept's Retreat? Small world. I hope you gave her my thanks. And I hope we see each other again. Remember, the world isn't against you. It just seems that way when you're up against a rich and powerful Telvanni Magister.
Don't know about you,
How
but
could you, of all people, have picked clothes that smell this terrible?
look, nothing will want to attack and eat you when you smell like that. Makes your new job a whole lot easier. Don't know about you, but I'm ready to see what's in that cache. Before all this, he was a pampered Telvanni rank climber. That is not an illness you recover from overnight. We handled Raynilla's unfinished business with him, and now we're on to more important things. It's up to him how he moves forward now. I haven't decided. It might be too dangerous, you know. Probably safer for him to make a clean break from all this. But saying that makes me wonder if Raynilla thought the same about me. If that's why she didn't try harder to find me. He does seem the type to get lonely very easily, and he acts all put upon when he does. Maybe I will then, for his sake, and only because you suggested it.
So, after you fish these...
Good to get stocked up. Federo marked the map between those two boulders, guessing it's just under the snow. Find anything worthwhile? Or do we need to go back and shake down Federo for something better? Nisus. Well, that's not too far. Let's see. Bridge. Dwemer Ruins. I think I know the place. No hope of pronouncing it, though. I'll mark it on your map and we can skulk around for a way inside. Anything worthwhile in the other notes. Raynilla? Let me see. I think you're right. She was the reason that Federo had somewhere safe to go when he needed to run. He protected me because she gave him a way to do so. Hello, Sandoval Ulrich. Let's see what a piece of work you are. Fine. He's a crazy Telvanni, but we knew that, right? Well, we have the approximate location of this lab of his and a key to get inside. Sandoval wants to meet in person so badly. Let's see if he's there. Ready. Here's the bridge. Let's talk. Yeah. Let's see. Nisus nearby. Check. Bridge to some dwarven ruins. Check. Secret door. Could be anywhere between here and the coast. Look, instead of wasting our time searching, I have something that might help us. I've got this little tracking spell I've been working on in my free time. Should be able to pick up on the trail we're looking for. I'll need to concentrate on Federo's letter as I'm casting the spell. You'll watch my back while I do that, right? Give me a moment. Never tried this with someone watching me before. There we go. Quick, follow it. Come on, little one. Keep going. A Daedric shrine. Wonderful. Right. Nothing left to do but go inside. This place looks deserted, but I don't feel like we're alone. There's something here. What is this metal? When I came in here, I could almost feel it. What the?
After all this time, where are you? Who's that with you?
Stay back!
You touched the Tyrannite and I felt it, Sharp. I felt it. You're still attuned. Do you know what this means? Remember me. Remember us.
All I remember is wanting to kill you.
That's right. And you're so close to being mine once more. Just a moment longer.
The middle! Break the connection! We need to get out of here. Let's get out of here, please. We can talk outside. Sonderfell, Ulris. There is a bitterness to his name that I didn't taste before. I hated him, I'm sure of it. And his lab was deserted, so we have nothing else to go on. And what was that medal? Have you ever seen anything like it before? The Reformer had a hold of me through that medal somehow, like he was trying to reunite me with a piece of myself that was trapped inside. It was a glimpse of my forgotten life, my memories. I'm not making any sense, am I? I'll be fine. I just need to shake it off. Wasn't expecting him to just grab me like that. That journal you found, was it more of what we found in the letter? Right. It's a connection that goes both ways. If we can find more of that metal, that Tyrannite calx, there may be a way we can exploit it. That's it. If we find more, we can use it to track down Sonderfell somehow. I'll reach out to Mevi. She sounded like she wanted to help us more, right? I'm not used to having people in my corner, aside from you. We're going to do this, no matter what it takes. We're going to be the Reformer's end. Glad you were there to smash that stuff, that Tyrannite calx. Why can't these wizards just name things in a normal way?
Kujay, and you brought your friend. Good.
Look, when you say Kaj Kujay...
I know. You don't remember being my brother. But what if I could make you remember?
What are you talking about? Did she just say what I think she said? Talk to her, will you?
So, I've been studying Raynilla's notes and learning soul magic from my new tribe. Then Mevi told me what happened in that lab, and poof! Inspiration! All we need is a sample of Tyrannite calx. I've actually traced some to a Daedric ruin nearby. Sonderfell felt him, right? Sharp was never properly de-attuned from the soul magic. His memories still resonate, living collectively inside Tyrannite calx. But I'm no longer attuned, and you've never been attuned. See? It's brilliant. The metal Sonderfell uses to experiment on his slaves. Mevi told me you and Sharp found some in one of Sonderfell's abandoned laboratories. When Raynilla helped Sharp escape, his bond to Tyrannite calx is what tore his memories from him. Because, with a piece of Tyrannite calx, we can act as a conduit for Sharp's memories. There must be something in his past that would help you track down Sonderfell. He was so sure Sharp would be his forever. He told Sharp everything. Well, no. But that's why we'll test it out first. Just one memory, before his entire lifetime. Mevi said you wanted a sample of Tyrannite calx anyway, right? Even if you don't want to do my plan, you'll find some across the water in Broken Tusk. Doing this is Sharp's choice completely. But Mevi told me about what happened to Sharp in that abandoned lair, and I wanted to try and help. Also, hello! It's good to see you again under much better circumstances. Sure, anything. What do you want to know? Mevi had all of Raynilla's notes on what the Reformer was up to. She was going to destroy them. The grief of losing Raynilla. She wasn't thinking straight. I convinced her to leave the notes with me. They're here, if you want to read them. Horrible things about Tyrannite calcs, and that deattunement can be accomplished with soul magic. I'm interested in exploring defensive or preventative applications of soul magic, if such a thing exists. I'm still learning how it all works exactly. Well, he hatched under the sign of the thief, if that tells you anything. He's sly and stubborn, and his thoughts run a lot deeper than he lets on. I knew Sharp from the moment I hatched. He named me, taught me some gel, and showed me how to fish. Small freedoms keep slaves in line better than total subjugation. But for Sharp, it was his last piece of home. His tribe of fishermen. Tugs on the end of a line, saying they were still with him. It's the only time I've ever seen him truly at peace. Are we who we are only because of what we remember? Or are there some parts of us that can't be stolen? He doesn't seem too different from the Sharp I knew. If he's still a big baby when it comes to bad smells, he's practically the same. My tribal elder Nuatepa said it best. I'm a seed that's finally been allowed to grow. Sharp taught me plenty about survival. Those skills are useful. But what I found with my new tribe isn't just surviving. It's actually living. The Three Waters tribe. Sondeville always said I'd be lost if I ever returned to Black Marsh. But he was wrong. There are others like me and Sharp, either hatched in slavery or with no tribes to return to. We're not lost or alone. We have each other. Broken Tusk is home to cultists of Molag Bal, and worse, I've heard.
Not a problem. Sit tight. We'll be back. I get why Mevi didn't put this in her letter, but this is a big thing I've been ambushed with. I didn't think I could get my memories back. I was going along fine without them. Now I'm getting a whole lifetime back in the span of an afternoon. I burned up any hope of finding my forgotten past a long time ago. I decided to move forward, and I haven't stopped since. What if the Sharp I was hates the Sharp I've become? What if Dimike is only doing this because she misses her Kaj Kujay? I guess she probably wants that as much as I do. There's other things for me to consider. Other things I'd remember, less pleasant things like the Reformer and the years and years and years under his control. I'm not used to looking at the world that way. You're right. There's no way to value my past when I don't know exactly what I've lost, and if Dimike can shoulder everything that she's been through, then I should be strong enough too. We might have to swim a bit to get to Broken Tusk. I don't mind it, but I know swimming in crocodile-infested marsh water isn't everyone's cup of grief. Wait. We need to talk. I'm just going to say what's on my mind because it's been eating at me the whole trip over. I read through Raynilla's notes. If we do this, and you're my conduit, you're going to experience my past memories with me, my whole lifetime. The thought of reliving the memories I have of Sandoval already has me digging my heels in the mud, but you will have to suffer through them too. There's no one else I'd trust more with this, but you need to tell me if it's too much to ask of you. Well, I didn't know that. This friendship thing is still new to me. After it's done, I might need some time to process everything. You might look at me different. I might feel different. But I don't want anything to change between us, all right? Oh, look at that. The cultists are already dead. One less thing to worry about. Stay ready. Never know what else might be headed our way. All of these dead cultists serve the Prince of Domination? I'm just stunned things didn't end well for them. The metal's here. Close. It's strange. I can almost feel it. Be careful with that. Let's get back to Demike.
You're back.
Told you we could handle ourselves. Did you miss us? I don't even want to be stuck with my bad memories. I wouldn't wish them on you. It might not even work, but it's the only lead we have. The only one we've had in ages. And there's no one else I'd trust with this besides you.
So nice of those cultists to share with you. After this, we can destroy what you found and let the pieces sink in the swamp. Let's just hope we can actually follow Raynilla's guidance on this. If Sharp's mind is a blank scroll and his memories are like ink, touching Tyrannite calcs directly would be like upending the bottle. A mess. You will act as the quill. His memories will flow through you as we transcribe what once was written. According to Raynilla's notes, it will be as if you are Sharp himself. I'll be channeling the magic. It won't be an easy process, which is why we're starting small. Just one memory, whatever surfaces first, to see if this even works. Are you ready? Remember, it's just a test, a little starter memory. When you're ready, friend of Sharp, put your hand to the metal.
Try your hardest to fight it, Sharp. It will help me ferret out any weaknesses.
If I could tear you to pieces right now, you know I would.
sharp as ever. Now, feel the resonance. You should understand what I want you to do without me saying anything at all.
It's the bucket, isn't it? Let's make a deal. I bring you the bucket, and then I get to drown you in it.
Good. And now? Wonderful. You sensed and acted on my desires, all without me having to say a word. Well, how was it? Speak your mind, Sharp. How does it feel, wrapped in the tendrils of my will? Did it hurt to try and resist? Be honest with me. You know how I appreciate your candor. Nagging? How rude. I hope I don't really nag. Did you feel anything else? I need to know if subconscious desires interfere with what I'm issuing as conscious directives. I think you're strong enough that you could do that if that's what you really wanted. I haven't perfected the process. You say you want to kill me, and yet I'm still here. Dim. That's right, your sister, of course. That's who I feel. The way she missed you. She wants to make you remember, just like me. And there's another, masking your resonance from me. Who are you, I wonder? Be reasonable, Sharp. Just give me the bucket.
Sharp, help! He's here! He's...
She's gone. Where is she? Where did she go? She was wearing that amulet.
I felt your resonance, Sharp. Your resistance. Even with your little conduit.
Dimike, where is she?
She's safe with me. The stars align so I would find you again. Submit yourself to me, Sharp, and I'll let her go. I'll let all my slaves go.
What?
You are my price. Find me. I know you can. Submit to me. I know you will.
He said he felt my resistance. As soon as I saw him, I tried to resist, and it called him right to us. And now, he has Dimike. She was safe and free, and she just wanted to help us. It's all my fault. We have to go after her. But that's exactly what he wants. He knows I can find him, because it's what I'm best at. If we want to save her, we're playing right into his hands. We have to save Dimike. We have to find the Reformer, and we can't let him know we're coming. I need time to plan how we're going to do that. But when the day comes, be ready. I'm going to need your help. When we first met Dimike, she said I'd made a promise. I would come back and rescue her from the Reformer. I am going to make good on that promise. I just need time. Remember, I told you to be ready for the day we were going to find and kill the Reformer and rescue Dimike. Well, I hope you're ready. Today's the day. I reached out to everyone I could think of to ask for help in finally finding this guy. Mevi wrote back. She's asked us to meet in Reaper's March at the inn at Ralka. It wasn't a long list. After the Reformer took Dimike, I was reluctant to ask anyone in the first place, but Nevi's found a new lead, and she said we'll need to act on it quickly. Are you still with me on this? I remember our last real lead with Federo brought us to that abandoned lab of the Reformer. Nevi's lead might not be much more than that, but it's something. Any step forward at this point is progress. I have to hope so, but if it doesn't, we have to consider every option. The Reformer made me an offer, if you remember. Turn myself in, and all his slaves go free. If I can't kill the Reformer, he'll hunt me forever. Better that I alone satisfy his obsession, if it means Dimike and the others can be free of him. It better not. I haven't caught nearly enough trophy fish to consider myself a respectable angler yet, and they always seem to bite more often when you're around.
Good to see you two again.
You too? Wait. Federo, is that really you?
Against my better judgment, yes, it's me. I'm here.
You talk to Mevi. I'll make sure we don't have anyone following us.
When Sharp contacted me about Dimike, I knew I should have been doing much more, much sooner. My grief immobilized me too long. No longer. Federo and I found a solid lead on someone connected with Sondevel Ures, the Reformer. He's helping us. Like me, he's had trouble putting his old life behind him. He helped me track down an old contact of his who's working directly with Sondevel Ures. Apparently, she's established a lab and slaving operation nearby. Helistrin Starflower. She's in Senalana, an Aeliad ruin north of here. Our source said to look for a door with her namesake growing nearby. She may have information on Sondevel, but she won't give it up easily. Dispose of her how you see fit. We can meet afterward just outside of Arenthia, on the Western Bridge. It's not far from Senalana. My Rhaenyra often shouldered the burden of her work alone. There's risk involving others, but without her here, it's a risk we have to take.
All right. Try not to go on too much about how different I am from when you last saw me. Unless you're complimenting me. Oh, Federo, how brave of you to join us. Your skin looks stunning. Something like that would be nice. Sharp wrote me for help, if you can believe it. All I could think of was, if he's writing Belvis Salavel, courier for the Antiquarian Circle, for help, it must be really serious. Of course, he did also write Mevi, and she tracked me down. Now, I'm here. We used to know the same people, once upon a time when I was richer and better dressed. Unlike Sharp, I had plenty of friends in my old life. Looks like the two of us are evening out these days. By the three, no! I'll leave that to you and Sharp. I'm helping Mevi to relocate whoever it is you're freeing. Guide them from lamp to lamp until they're safe. Easy to do when you're a courier of the Antiquarian Circle. All right. Try not to go on too much about how...
Is this what it's like having friends? Helpful people coming out of the woodwork to give leads on how to track down and murder some tyrant slaver that stole my memories? Not stole, but you know what I mean. Not much. I remember that note we found in the Reformer's old lab saying he'd only ever tested Tyrannite calcs on Argonians before. Based on the location of her hideout, I'm guessing this Starflower is setting up to go after Khajiit next. I'm always suspicious of good fortune, but any day I get to gut a slaver is a good day. I guess I shouldn't credit all our progress on luck. Really, it's you. What made you stop that day in Necrom to help me? All of my years wandering the world on my own, I'd never met anyone who genuinely just wanted to help me before. I guess I want to say thanks for helping me figure out not who I was, but who I am, who I want to be. Senate Lama, kill the Starflower, then meet at Arinthia. Let's move quickly. Timokay's been on the leash of that rotten skeever for too long. She deserves the sun on her scales again. Let's ride. That's a starflower bloom, right there. Let's show this slaver how we negotiate. Stay sharp. Timokay's counting on us. Key. That's promising. What? Don't tell me you found another creepy node like before. He does? Let me see. That's a relief. This Starflower might have thanked us for sparing her the obligation of answering the summons of this spineless flathead. You saw that memory of mine. I have been ready for longer than I can even remember. He needs to die. But, as far as priorities go, saving Timokay and any other slaves under Sandoval, that's more important. Mevi said she'd meet us by the bridge outside of Arinthia. Let's get there quick. There's the Forgotten Crypts. With any luck, they'll have one more dead dark elf in them by the end of this. So the Reformers moved his operations to a crypt in Deshan. Such an inviting prospect. I wonder if he's finished decorating yet. Hey, wait. Let's chat. This place is a dangerous, winding maze. We could get killed just searching for the secret entrance. Let's use a tracking spell to help us find it. Surprised you remember that. This time, I'm going to use the essence of the Tyrannite calx and follow its natural resonance to find more nearby. I figure where there's more, that's where we'll find Sondavel. Spotted a fragment at Elistrin's place. Didn't touch it, kept it wrapped, figured it might be useful to have. Take it and set it down in the ritual circle when I tell you to. No, but if anything happens, I know you've got my back. And if it alerts Sondavel that we're coming, good. I'd like to see him run. Let him feel like the prey for once. And more than that, I'd like to save Demike. All right. Set down the metal in the circle, and let me concentrate. A torch bug? Quick, don't lose it.
What? Who's there?
There, a trapdoor. I can feel the calx like I did before. This is it. Their loss, our gain. You sent for me, Master.
Sharp, at last. But you should have come alone. Kill the other one, then bring Sharp to me. We've been parted so long, I can wait a moment longer.
This is where he dies. Sondavel Oris, reformer, whatever you call yourself, you should have run.
I don't want to hurt you, Sharp. Such a poor use of your protection.
What's the matter? This is for everyone.
Wait!
I'll never remember.
If you
the
kill
day
me,
you.
you'll never get your memories back.
Then they die with you. You weren't keeping score, were you? Smash it! Burn it all! Sondavel's work dies with him. Everyone else walks free.
other's the way out of here.
Head south when you reach the road. We'll meet you in Narcissus. It's over. I don't have to spare a thought for him ever again. Come on, let's go meet our friends in Narcissus. People. Great.
Did you hear about the Cirque? There is no cure.
Kachkujay. I mean, Sharp. I knew you'd come back for us.
I promised I would, Diknujay. Give me a moment. I want a word with my friend.
Sharp looks like he wants a word with you.
There's so much to know about the world. I want to learn everything.
Thank Azura you made it. But I think Sharp wishes to speak with you.
All that time I spent worrying that I was going to be someone else when I got my memories back. Well, I guess it's safe to say I don't need to worry about that anymore. I stopped caring about my memories the moment he took Demikay. What use is remembering our past if she can't be a part of my future? And the Reformer doesn't get to live on in my memories. That's enough for me. I don't know if she'll ever know me the way that you know me, but it's worth trying. She's a piece of my past. I was too focused on finding the Reformer to realize that. And now that he's gone, I have my whole life ahead of me. Mevi and Federo can call on me whenever they need my skills, but I hope they'll call on me as friends, too. Renilla wanted me to choose my own path. With Sondavel gone, thanks to you, I can finally do that. By your side, or finding my own way.
You did it? Sondavel Ures, the Reformer, is no more.
If anyone could do it, it's these two right here.
He's dead. Burn any notes you have on his research so no one can pick up where he left off.
Of course. We'll never let what happened to us happen to anyone else. Right?
I'm never giving up Raynilla's work. But you have a good life ahead of you. Try living it for yourself for a while, all right?
Sharp, your memories. When he died, did anything come back to you?
No, nothing. But it's all right. We'll make new ones.
I miss my comforts and routines from before, sure. But I never had, I don't know, purpose, fulfillment, direction? Friends. That might be it. I've never had real friends before. Time will tell if I like that better than fine silks.
If Federo and I need your help in the future, we'll be sure to send for you. Raynilla fought hard for Sharp's freedom so he might live his life however he wanted. It's my job to light the way forward.
Did you hear? Sharp called me his Diknujay. I know his memories died with Sondeville, and I think it's for the best. But I'm happy he wants to rebuild. Since he knows nothing, I could tell him anything. Not that I will. Too much.
So the memories of my past die with Sondavel the Reformer. May we all forget his name in time. But I have answers. More than that, I have Demikay and Federo and Mevi, and I have you. It's a lot more than I started with. Demikay has found a place with her tribe. I think I might want that for myself someday. But not today. Probably not anytime soon, so I guess your question should be, what's next for us? I'll trust you to make that decision. You already know I'll follow you to Oblivion and back, but I think we've earned a break. I wouldn't say no to a little fishing. So the memories of my past die with Sonderveld the Reformer.